All right, good afternoon, innovators, educators, and supporters. Thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Watkins from Michigan Virtual, and I'm thrilled to be kicking off our 2024 Michigan Virtual EdTech Pitch Contest. At Michigan Virtual, we're deeply interested in the intersection of teaching, learning, and technology. Forces that, when combined thoughtfully, have the power to transform lives and shape the future. And the potential in EdTech is so great that with this pitch competition, along with our innovative boot camp and other EdTech Catalyst efforts, we're looking to carefully cultivate ideas to create an impact beyond what we can do internally here at Michigan Virtual. So that's what this pitch contest is all about. And we're going to do that today with 5 exciting teams, each with a unique vision for how we can harness the power of technology to make teaching and learning more accessible, engaging, and effective. We're going to see 5 pitches today over about the next hour or so, and this is the culmination of probably close to hundreds of hours of work from each team, and also from our presenters and our stakeholders. We couldn't do this without our partners from the MSU Research Foundation, their Spartan Innovations team, as well as the team at the Michigan SBDC. Kim and Melanie from those organizations, respectively, have been outstanding partners to us in making this possible. And of course, also our sponsors, Foster Swift and Michigan Creative, providing legal and marketing prizes for the top 3 teams that we'll see today, as well as the MEA, their Center for Leadership and Learning, has been a huge sponsor, as well as Consumers Energy, Case Credit Union, and DuPont. So thank you to all of our sponsors and our partners. But today we're going to hear from 5 great finalists. We've got J.C. Price from Parallel. He's an alum from our 2024 EdTech Bootcamp. We also have the Note Clear team led by Jacob Marhofka. They're going to present their startup. We have Jasmine with Next Level Tech, also from our 2024 Bootcamp. Devin and Community Connect. He's an alum of our 2023 Bootcamp, so excited to see him back. And Valerie Rackley with Mindwired Labs. She's also an alum from our 2024 Bootcamp. So we're going to have 5 outstanding presentations from these teams today. And they're presenting for a chance at a $10,000 first prize startup grant. The first 3 finishers also get startup legal and marketing consultations from Foster Swift and Michigan Creative, respectively. And then you can see the prize amounts here. And even our 2 runners-up today are going to each take away $1,000 for their effort to help propel them into greatness with their ideas. But before we get into the ideas, again, I have to recognize Melanie and Kim for their efforts in coaching these teams along with myself over the past month or so, from the boot camp all the way through to now. They've been fantastic making themselves available to each of these teams, and it's been transformative to see the development of these teams, either over about a year or so with Devin when we had him in boot camp last year to the teams that we had this year. Absolutely fantastic progress, and everybody's in for a treat today with these slides. And since this is a pitch contest, we also have 3 fabulous judges. We have Tom Stewart from Spartan Innovations. He's our Assistant Director of Venture Acceleration and also the Director of MSU's Conquer Business Accelerators. Those run both in East Lansing and Grand Rapids. And he himself is an investor, entrepreneur, founder, and all things entrepreneurship. So Tom, thank you for being here today to help with the judging of these teams. And thanks for your partnership with Spartan Innovations.
Thanks for having us.
We also have Jamie Fitzpatrick, our president and CEO here at Michigan Virtual, who kind of latched on to my crazy idea about three and a half years ago to get into this. And Jamie, thank you for letting me run with this, and thank you for being here as a judge today. We have some great teams.
Yeah, we like crazy ideas.
Absolutely. And Jean Hammond from the Learn Launch Accelerator and Venture Fund out of Boston, Massachusetts. She's been a great partner to Michigan Virtual over the last 3 or 4 years as well. And she's also one of the foremost leaders nationally in the EdTech investing space with Learn Launch, their accelerator, their EdInno programming, and everything else they do out there in Boston. So Jean, thank you for taking some time out of a busy startup week in Boston to join us here in Michigan.
It'll be a lot of fun.
So teams, these are the 3 judges that you'll be looking to impress today. And we're going to jump right into it. So judges and audience members, prepare to be inspired. As a reminder, each of these teams will have 5 minutes for their pitch. There'll be a little stopwatch that comes up in about this corner, I think, of my Zoom window, counting down from 5 minutes. I'll give you 1 or 2 seconds after the 5-minute mark, but not much more than that. And then we'll go into 5 minutes of Q&A with the judges. All broadcast, everybody can watch. After all 5 pitches are done, the judges will go into a breakout room. The rest of us will stay hanging out here in Zoom, and we'll talk amongst ourselves and see how things went. And the judges will take about 10 minutes to deliberate before coming back to announce the results. And by shortly after 4:30, we'll know the winners, and we'll be congratulating everybody on their hard work. So we're pitching today in the order shown on the slide, with JC from Parallel up first. And before we jump into JC's presentation, judges or contestants, do you have any questions? We get some thumbs up and we'll get rolling here. All right, so there we go. I'm going to stop my share. JC, if you want to start your share. Get yourself into presentation mode. Give me a thumbs up when you feel ready, JC. All right.
Audio, we all good?
We can hear you. It's yours. Take it away. I'll start this countdown as soon as you get going here.
All righty. American K-12 teachers are responsible for lesson planning, creating and grading assignments, preparing and administering tests, writing report cards and progress reports, plus a lot more. And after all of that, I still haven't mentioned instruction time. Well, Parallel is here to automate the majority of these tasks, so time spent with students feels like the bulk of their workload. So can Parallel reduce teacher shortage? In the past 3 months, we've conducted over 150 interviews with teachers and administrators. There are 3 major challenges from our discovery I'd like to address. 100% of teachers agree automating their most mundane tasks would increase their likelihood of staying an educator. 2, 80% of educators agree grading took up the majority of their non-instruction work, yet the least brain power. And 3, nearly 100% of school administrators surveyed are looking for equitable ways to assess student progress besides standardized testing. Schools are spending money with LMSs, then spending more money with outside vendors and contractors to support academics in a way we know we can consolidate at Parallel, breaking these information silos. Parallel is a standalone desktop software platform designed for educational settings, helping teachers, school administrators, and district-level leaders. For teachers, Parallel acts as a virtual assistant, automating tasks like grading, lesson planning, and paperwork. Responses will be trained to their needs specifically via the AI. For school administrators, the platform offers real-time insights into student performance, making it easy to monitor and analyze data. They can interact with the AI in plain language to instruct it to spot trends and visualize metrics. At the district level, Parallel provides a big picture view of educational performance across multiple schools. It offers actionable insights to guide academic iterations, resource allocation, and collaborative strategic planning. In the crowded race of AI teaching assistants, we've prioritized developing a solution that seamlessly integrates with the flow of schools' existing operations. Unlike other tools that offer flashy features with limited practical value, our focus is on creating a solution that addresses real-world challenges and delivers meaningful impact. Our feature set crafts district-specific materials, works easily for educators to adopt daily, and allows for group lesson planning from teacher to teacher or department to department. We have two main business models. We sell directly to districts or schools, offering a licensing model, one-time buy with a small monthly generative AI bill. Our secondary stream provides third-party academic programming solutions, the option to be trained within our platform. This enables us to incorporate their materials into our lesson and into our lessons and assignment recommendations for them, ensuring that our suggestions align with their instructions. The TAM for learning management systems is in the billions in North America and projected to rise by about 14% a year for the next 5 years. At an overtime rate of $45 an hour at 6 hours per week for teachers, prep work comes in at about $10,080. Freelance data analysts can be about $20,000 per contract, and pedagogy consultants can charge the districts a full six-figure salary. At $10,000 per school, this is a no-brainer offer that we're providing. And if adopted into just 25% of Michigan schools, that's $7.5 million per sales cycle. And that's 25% of the nation, that's $3.75 billion. Here's that crowded race I referred to earlier. You can see here that Parallel offers the most specific yet autonomous avenue towards developing an academic plan based on each institution's specifications. Here you can meet the team. With blended expertise in AI, education, and user experience, we're here to help enhance the classroom and drive practical change. I have several years in education. Charles has successfully exited a startup he founded, and Tim is an AI guru and retired CTO of Lenovo. I'm not sure you could find a better group to do the job. Upon receiving this award, we will use the funds to support our pilot during the upcoming academic year. We have begun discussions with Eastern Michigan charter schools, Southfield schools, and River Rural schools for partnerships. We're currently building our V1 product for launch in August. And remember, curriculum directors and teachers buy third-party help to build out programming. Superintendents buy third-party tools to help find gaps in progress via data analytics companies, and districts buy third-party consultants to analyze academic data and recommend adjustments. Parallel rolls all of that into one easy-to-use system without information silos. We're confident in our future based on our research and our ability to build it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Thank you, JC.
No problem. Should I keep my screen up?
Yeah, to the extent you think it's going to help you answer questions from the judges. Jamie, Jean, Tom, I'll turn it over to you for about 5 minutes of Q&A.
Scott, I've got a question. JC, what feature in your tool excites you the most?
The collaboration feature, most definitely. And to give that a little bit more explanation, what we've done is something that we call responses or generation en masse, meaning that the context of whatever you want out of your lesson plan, every other teacher within that same framework, within that same institution or whatever, will have access to understanding that when they generate their lesson plan. So in more layman terms, that'll mean the social studies teacher will know what's going on in the English class without them having to personally collaborate. The math teacher will know what's going on in the art class, so they don't have to personally have to collaborate. The AI will be able to take the context of what everybody is generating for what they'll do that day, and then they'll be able to compound upon each other as they build out their programming, which I'm really excited about in regards to consistent messaging, meaning that there can be themes put inside of the lesson plans that are keyed in on during each hour, let's say during like a high school or something like that, which, I mean, as far as what I've seen working in schools was pretty much impossible because it's just way too much collaboration amongst each other, way too much relaying back and forth for someone to be able to build out programming.
Does this answer you just gave mean that all the teachers in the school would be needing to be on the platform? Or is there ways that people can be using their traditional materials and then just integrating in a lighter way with what you have going on?
Good question. So you will have the option to not use the software and keep going with whatever protocols you've utilized before to build out your programming. It's just that you wouldn't be able to participate in regards to those collaboration features, but you definitely be able to still utilize whatever type of process that you're used to.
Can you, sorry, can you repeat your revenue model one more time? I know you said it, but I think you went really quick for me to have my brain grasp it.
Yep, that's no problem at all. So what we're going to do is a licensing model. It's a one-time buy, similar to like Windows back in the day.
Yep.
So we'll do that per sales cycle because AI is moving so fast. And we didn't want to throw, based off of our research, we didn't want to throw a big generative AI bill at these schools monthly. They figured it would be easier for them to budget out year by year rather than month by month. So we decided to just go ahead and sell them a licensing software. And then there'll be a small generative AI bill to go along with that, like a cloud bill. And
Yeah,
then
so like a license per seat, basically, per teacher or per user, or for an
no,
entire
not per
district.
se. It'll be for the entire institution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
So
you have a price? Did you mention a price for that yet? Do you have a in mind?
10,000.
Okay. Regardless of the size of the district.
Right.
Okay.
The-
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
The district size will be more so relevant to their monthly generative AI bill.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do
more
you
usage.
do you have a margin? What's the standard margin on something like that? Because I imagine you're not going to just charge them cost.
For the generative AI bill, we're gonna charge pretty much cost at that, whatever it takes for us to manage that internally as far as sending out a bill.
Okay.
But we'll get our profits from that licensing fee.
Got it.
And
Okay.
also the second revenue model, if you wanted me to go on that.
Yeah, please.
So that one is say you have company A who has a math process that they sell to schools, right? And this school they already are integrated into this school, and they're like, we're fine with that. We don't need new curriculum built for this math process that we have from company A. We can reach out to company A and say, hey, we can offer you distribution because every school that accepts
I
us,
see.
right? So we can partner with them in that regard where they become a part of our platform. And whenever a teacher goes to generate a lesson plan or the district head goes to generate anything in regards to the entire curriculum, it can already have that company's processes within our platform.
I appreciate the clarification. Which one of those do you think is going to make you more money?
At first, the licensing fee, but I think later on the third party add-on will make the most money.
Yeah. Sorry, I know we're out of time. Sorry.
Yep, we're out of time. Thank you.
I think it was 5 fast for questions too.
Yeah, you think the team's not
Way
the only
fast.
one feeling the heat from the countdown timer, right?
I had so many more questions written down. We'll get to them later. All right, thank you.
We'll exchange emails and text numbers later on. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, JC, thank you for leading us off. You set the bar high. Great job. We've got 4 more great presentations coming up. And next up are the Marhafka brothers from the Metro Detroit area, but also from U of M Dearborn, Michigan State University, and Divine Child High School. So, Jacob and brothers, I'll let you take it away. If you get your screen shared.
All right.
And this is this concept is note clear. Yep, going to get into presentation mode. And as soon as you guys are ready, just go into it and I'll start the timer.
Make sure. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Hello, I'm Owen, and next to me are my colleagues and brothers, Jacob and Nathan, and this is our pitch for our web application, NoClear. The problem: studying can be painfully boring, and we've experienced this firsthand. As our team consists of a current high school student, a current college student, and a recent college graduate, we can personally speak to the repetitive and boring nature of studying. For myself, in my recent US history class this past year, I struggled to focus during long slide-based presentations that took an hour or more, and we hadn't reviewed at all what we had learned. This monotonous approach made it incredibly difficult for me to engage with material again during my study sessions. And come exam time, I found myself drowning in pages of notes, unsure of what to focus on. And my experience isn't unique. Studies show that student learning engagement drops drastically from elementary school to high school. And overcoming this lack of engagement during studying is critical because it significantly reduces our ability to learn and retain information. So how can we make reviewing more engaging and effective for students like me? First of all, NoClear helps solve this issue in 3 versatile ways. First, during note-taking, NoClear automates monotonous tasks, allowing users to focus more on learning and reviewing by using AI to identify key points and create quick review questions while taking your notes. Secondly, after taking your notes, NoClear will develop a quick summary that develops reviews of key ideas and topics in the notes. And it generates multiple choice and short answer questions and provides feedback on your answers based on your notes. So what are the impacts of NoClear? On the teaching side, it allows for easy test generation for specific topics and lectures, and it reduces the need for an after-class tutoring. It also increases engagement for students during class with the material. On the learning side, it can help raise engagement during study sessions and review sessions. It also allows students to study and learn at their own pace, as well as generate key points, dynamic multiple choice questions, and summaries.
So getting into our business model, we've identified 2 main ways of generating revenue. The first will be a basic plan, which will be free with access to basic features aimed at getting users to the site. And then we also are planning to implement a subscription plan, which will be $8 per month for access to premium features and increased access to free features. For the cost structure, we've identified dev costs, marketing costs, and operational costs as kind of the 3 main areas we're looking at. For market potential, there's about 36 million high school and college students in the United States with internet access. We've identified that as our primary market. In terms of how we're going to get our product to its initial market, our founding team has built connections with various Catholic League high schools and universities in the Metro Detroit area for helping to launch our initial product. And then over the next 10 years, the EdTech market and the artificial intelligence and education market are projected to grow by 14% and 35% annually, respectively. For competitor analysis, we looked at ChatGPT and Chegg because those are kind of the big education and AI platforms right now. For ChatGPT, it's 3 times more expensive than us, and it also requires more technical knowledge in order to get value out of your notes. On Chegg's side, it's twice as expensive as us, and it's also a lot slower for putting in notes and questions and getting a response back. Our goal is to make studying and reviewing easier, faster, and cheaper than these 2 competing products.
Now for a brief overview of the team. On my left is Jacob Marhefka. He's the lead developer and a cloud admin. He recently graduated from the University of Michigan Dearborn with a degree in cybersecurity, and he coached high school esports at Devon Child High School in Dearborn. I'm Nathan Marhefka. I'm a backend developer and a customer service head. I'm currently a student at MSU, and I'm involved in student organizations such as FSAE, and I work for the Honors College as a research assistant. On my far left is Owen Marhefka. He's a developer and content manager. He's currently a student at Devon Child High School and played in multiple sports at the varsity level, and he runs student organizations such as the National Honor Society chapter. I'd also like to point out our advisors, Steve Dickey, he's a teacher at Devon Child High School. Our dad, Donovan Marhefka, he works with software and e-commerce at an international scale, and a friend of Jacob's, Joe Malatesta. He launched an early stage web app and scaled it to 30 users per day. So for our current roadmap, a big thing is we began conducting market research by interviewing friends of friends and students that attended the same schools as us. During an interview, we discussed how NoClear could benefit students with learning disabilities such as dysgraphia, difficulty conveying thoughts and ideas through writing. Since then, we've developed a minimal viable product and developed it using Flask and GCP. In the next few months, the goal is to focus on advertising to grow the user base and then implement a feature called courses, which will allow students to compile notes for larger exams. And beyond that, to have a specific educator portal that is geared towards aiding with homework and test design. If we were to have the money, we'd put 25% towards feature development, another 20% towards cloud costs, 25% towards marketing to grow the user base, and 30% towards pilot program funding to develop new features and test them with our user base.
And that is it for our presentation, so we can stop now for questions.
Really great job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
great job. Why don't you start us by telling us a little bit about if you need other technology to be present, and exactly where this is running, and whether or not, and how you do like the review processes in it.
Yeah, so to get started as kind of a larger technical overview, I actually have a slide about AI models I can pull up. So we're using multiple different AI models, and basically a student puts their notes in. After they put the notes in, it will get a text embed generated of it, which basically helps us identify key topics. That stuff will all be stored, and that's done with the 88002 model that you see under the OpenAI models. After that, we then use Gemini 1.5 Flash, which is the cheap model on Google, to handle large context windows. So you can use up to 2 million tokens, which is like 1,800 pages of text, give or take. So there really is no issue with the amount of notes you're putting in. And that allows us to handle large amounts of content and then generate review questions and summaries based on that. From there will then be short answer questions and multiple choice questions generated by Gemini 1.5 Pro, which has the same benefits as Flash, but it's a little bit more expensive due to it having better logical solving. Yep.
I think I get the concept pretty well. I'm gonna, if you have time, I'd love you to talk a little bit about competitors, but I want to leave other people time to ask questions too.
Yeah, sounds good.
I've got a question. You talked about the feedback that you've received, and that's
Yeah.
been part of your process in developing your minimal viable product. What's been the most surprising feedback you've received in your development process?
Honestly, it was the feedback about the dysgraphia. We specifically mentioned it on there because like none of us three have specific learning disabilities or challenges, and it wasn't something that initially we had thought about. But after we were posting on LinkedIn and doing advertising, and we met with someone whose son actually had dysgraphia, which was, like we said, struggling to write ideas down and convey their thoughts through writing. We are starting to focus more on like speech to text and text to speech as future functions are developed because it can benefit those kids. And so the ability to pivot and kind of focus on more disability focused learning and how we can help kids that have those challenges, that was not something I really had expected or planned for, but it's been really cool to get to learn about those things.
Thank you.
Are you planning on rolling this out as when you talk about like the paid subscription, is that picked up by the student, or are you hoping schools kind of add it on as a value add for their students? How are you thinking about going to market to sell this?
Yeah, so initially we want to open with the cost going mainly to the students, just how you would with Chegg or ChatGPT. It's going to go mainly on a student by student basis. If you want to use the application and you can get value from it, we believe you should do it. The educator portal we talked about that's in like 6 to 12 months out is something we've been kind of working on ideas for and brainstorming around. We do want to have that opportunity to have like classroom setups in there, as well as teachers be able to use it to get test generation, test tracking, things like that. But for now, we're primarily launching with the idea of the price would go toward the students.
Great, thank you. I'd be interested in the competition question as well.
Anything else? Or I can go a little bit more into competition if there's no other questions.
Yeah, love competition.
Okay, yep, I'll go back to the slide for it. We have some analysis on there. So basically the primary ones we've identified are in terms of like big current market competitors. There's a lot of info on the slide, but the highlights are ChatGPT, which is a general large language model.
Yeah, but how about smaller players that are specifically for notes? Do you think there are some of those out?
There are some. There's another startup being launched out of Michigan State called Notello that we have done research on. However, their focus is primarily on automating note taking instead of creating more value on top of the notes. So it focuses on taking multiple students from the same class and using past notes to create like automated note taking documents instead of where we are focused on. We believe note taking is an important part of the study and review process. And so we want to focus more on how can we get the most value out of your notes without having you to take time that you writ all these notes out, you have it all set up, and then you have to go and reformat that to make it ideal for studying. We want to see how we can help that process in the middle where there's less time spent doing the manual task of creating flashcards or creating note cards or doing like writing your own practice questions. And instead it can be, I put my notes in, I took the time to take these notes, and now immediately I have the ability to do multiple choice tests, or short answer tests, and I can get feedback and do questions right there. And I don't have to spend time, which we identified as the most boring and challenging part of the process, which is the creation of study materials from your class-based notes.
Okay, that's differentiated to some degree. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I have questions. I don't know if we'll have time for it, but like how you build a competitive moat here, since ChatGPT is free, there are a handful of GPTs even on the paid version that address some of this stuff. And yeah,
I was gonna say we can talk more after. We have ideas
sure.
on that, but yeah, sorry I didn't get a chance to kind of give you the answer to that.
That's all right. I'm here at MSU. You guys are welcome anytime.
Sounds good. Yep.
All right. Our Hefka brothers, great job with note clear. Judges, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
got 2 down and 3 to go. And next up is Jasmine with Next Level Tech. All right. And she's right on it. Screen is shared. And she's going to take us through her presentation. Jasmine, the floor is yours. Whenever you're ready, I will start the timer based on when you get started.
Greetings, heroes. I'm Jasmine Woodruff, the CEO of Next Level Tech Solutions. Our mission is to revolutionize education and ensure the digital safety of our children with our innovative EdTech platform. Thank you for joining us as we embark on this epic journey. In today's digital age, we're all aware of the lurking dangers online, especially for our children. The top 3 digital safety villains include exposure to inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and online predators. We often think parents are the main guardians of their kids' online safety. But just like in a superhero team, everyone in society has a role in protecting our children. As a mother of 3, I know firsthand how challenging it is to find the right resources and tools to educate my kids on digital safety and share their online activities. Like myself and other vigilant parents, we're on the lookout for support and educational resources to protect our families online. With the flood of new apps for kids, safeguarding our children from the top 3 villains has become a tougher battle. Staying informed about these safety issues is crucial. As a mother, keeping up with my kids' screen time and managing their online behavior has become a daunting mission. Next Level Tech and our superhero team are born to tackle the top 3 digital safety villains. Armed with our AI-powered tools, we're equipped with specialized weapons to protect your child and give parents an unbeatable edge. Our super sensor sends real-time alerts to your phone whenever your child encounters unfamiliar people, inappropriate content, or online threats. With our dynamic dashboard and detailed online behavior reports, you'll have the ultimate insight into your child's online activity, screen time, and app usage. Our favorite superpower is empowering parents and kids with fun and interactive resources and top-notch digital safety education. Our interactive tools will transform children into digital safety champions while fortifying family bonds through collaborative learning. By boosting digital literacy and creating a secure online environment, we're nurturing the next generation of responsible digital citizens. Behold, the ultimate showdown. While other platforms falter in their digital defense, Next Level Tech swoops in to save the day with our unmatched superpowers, real-time alerts, interactive education, and comprehensive digital behavior reporting, all packaged into one heroic package. In the battle for online safety and education, we stand unrivaled, protecting and empowering our families like no one else can. Attention, here's Next Level's battle plan. We're offering a subscription-based model with different levels of protection for tech-savvy urban and suburban parents. Partnering with educational and safety organizations, we'll spread our message through Facebook, Instagram, parent blogs, and forums, ensuring every family can join our mission for a safer digital world. Listen up. The addressable market for Next Tech Level is vast and right and ready for action. Picture this, 10.9 million super parents with school-age children in North America. Zooming in, we have around 100,000 super parents in Michigan alone with school-age children. In the frontline counties of Wayne, Washtenaw, and Oakland, we've got approximately 35,000 vigilant tech-savvy middle-class families with children under the age of 18. With subscription power-ups include $11 monthly or $100 annual cost for basic coverage. With these heroic subscriptions, you're looking at a potential revenue of a whopping $1.9 billion. Now, the road to fighting online villains is not easy. So here are some milestones we took to get here. We completed the Tech Town Customer Discovery Program, where we uncovered the pressing need for our program amongst parents. We've armed ourselves with tech education, crafted educational content, and forged key partnerships. So what's our next steps? Well, we're powering up product development and launching rigorous testing to perfect our digital safety shield for families. Our formidable team brings over 20 years of combined experience, including app development and design, domain knowledge, business operations, and marketing. With our skills, we're equipped to build, launch, scale next level tech into the ultimate digital safety platform for families. With $10,000, we'll transform wireframes into a polished MVP, launch targeting marketing campaigns, build critical content, and run pilot testing. These efforts will drive our mission forward, ensuring that we're fully prepared to deliver an exceptional product to our customers. Thank you, brave listeners, for joining us on this epic journey to protect our children online. With your support and our team's dedication, Next Level Tech will conquer digital dangers and ensure a brighter, safer future for the next generation. I'm ready for questions.
Right.
That was
Good job,
well
Jasmine.
done. I loved the theming of it, and you went all in on it in the script too. That was really clever. I do have like what would a dashboard, you mentioned one of the features like a dashboard and reporting for this, and I'm curious, maybe just because it's a little bit out of my element here, like what are KPIs? What does a dashboard like that look like, and I guess why is that important?
So a dashboard for this platform will look basically reporting the online behavior for your children, and it will basically it'll be an individualized report, basically showing how much screen time your child uses, what apps are they using, and basically any risk or potential danger that your child may come into. And that is very important so that a parent, speaking exactly for myself, can see exactly how much time your child is spending on a certain app, what apps are they even spending the time on, and just giving a detailed report of their online behavior. Because sometimes with parents, with our kids, they have these devices, but we don't know exactly what they're doing. We know what apps they're on, but what are they exactly doing? Who are they talking to? Like, so that dashboard will help give that report to that parent so the parent would know how to protect their child, or even have a conversation with their child about their online or phone activity.
Great, thank you.
So I'm just trying to get a handle on the amount of technology here, to be able to not only have a sort of a complete view of everything that's going on the child device, and then to set up the communication package to the parent device. So do you have beginnings of the development done, and what are the hard things?
Yeah, so right now I have a wireframe created. So it will basically be an app. The parent will sign up for an account. They'll add their child to the profile rather. And then also on the child's phone, they will download the app as well for monitoring. Right now, the hardest part in incorporating this is combining the educational interactive activities into the platform for both parents and children. Because the idea for the app is the parent will have their own account to where they can monitor the children's activities, but the child can also have on their account, on their phone, where they could just play interactive games about learning the safeties of digital safety. So that's kind of the hard part for it. But as far as like the technological part about it, it's just basically using AI using AI powered tools for alerts and for the actual detailed behavior activities.
Jasmine, I have a follow-up. Would the app only be monitoring the student use on their phone or across all devices? So let's just say there's a desktop in the family room, or a iPad or whatever.
Yes, so we will be able to, because our competition is already on that. So looking at our competition, they already have devices of like laptops, phones, tablets, any devices that the kid can use the app. So we're definitely incorporating that. That actually was a thought. So yes, good question.
Thank you.
What kind of research have you done to test the pricing out so far?
So right now, as far as research, I looked at different platforms such as, I don't know if you guys heard of Bark or Q Studio. Those are like my biggest competition, and I see how much they're charging and what features they're offering within that pricing. So that's how I kind of came up with my price. So with Bark, they offer around $10. With Q Studios is about $12, but they're limited in certain features. So that's so far the research I have. We have some free platforms like Google Family Link, which I use, but they're pretty non-existent with like real-time alerts or any type of behavior report or anything like that.
What do you think the biggest challenge will be for customer adoption?
Well, the biggest challenge will be basically trying to get parents to understand the need for this. I feel like they know it's a need, but what is it about my platform where they feel like, okay, I can use this would be beneficial. So basically the marketing part of it and getting the knowledge and awareness of it. When I did the customer discovery, that was like the hard part. Like I'm trying to get out the part where it's like a must, a nice have to a need. So I think going into this, me really hammering in the features and how this can really protect, and definitely the educational part, because you can have all these features, but how do you use this stuff? What is this stuff? What is this stuff on this platform? And also, how do we protect our kids? What ways can we protect our kids? So I think that's just that will really be the hard part of just getting.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Going to apologize for the sound that plays at the end of the timer, but maybe it's nice because it chimes in instead of me.
It's like the Oscar walk-off music when
Yeah.
they have they're like, okay, it's time to wrap up your thank yous.
It's a new feature in the app. It didn't do that when I last used it. And,
It's definitely like the Oscar walk-off.
Yeah, I need to go and see if I can customize the song that plays. So. All right, and Devin is one step ahead with his slides already shared. Devin has Community Connect. Devin, once you get started, I'll cue up the timer. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. My name is Devin, and I am the founder of Community Connect and a former middle school and high school science teacher. Now, when I first started teaching, I really struggled to get students engaged. It seemed like they were always asking me, why do we need to do this? And honestly, I probably spent more of my time trying to get students back on task and completing assignments than I did actually teaching. It was super frustrating, stressful, and made me feel like I should just quit. And I'm not alone. A quick scroll through teacher TikTok shows student engagement and behavior is becoming a crisis in classrooms across America.
I'm walking right out the door. I want to be back.
The reason why they're quitting is because these kids are mean and they're making the classroom a war zone.
I eventually realized the problem with student engagement in my classroom wasn't because students were mean. It was because they didn't see how the content I was teaching was relevant to their lives. It wasn't until I started doing hands-on projects connected to things students were passionate about in their local community that I saw a transformation in student behavior and motivation. I went from yelling at students to get to work and wanting to quit to having the most fun and rewarding experience of my life. However, I also realized designing curriculum for exciting community-engaged projects is a heavy lift. You have to pick standards, connect those to student interest, brainstorm project ideas, find community partners, create everything else all from scratch. It takes days of planning that most teachers just don't have. That's why about a year ago, I started working with a team to create Community Connect, a platform that completely automates the community engaged project design process, turning what would be normally days of teacher project planning time down to just a few minutes. Here's how it works. Let's imagine Sarah, a middle school science teacher in Ypsilanti, comes onto the platform, shares the standards she needs to teach and the issues her students are passionate about. Community Connect then leverages AI to create custom class project ideas. Sarah picks her favorite, maybe a project that connects plant genetics with local issues of food insecurity. Sarah then gets facilitated connections to real-world community partners, like folks working at a city urban garden and maybe someone from a local agri-science company. Sarah then downloads student guides and project resources to help her students explore the intersection of genetics and food insecurity, connect with local experts, and ultimately create a series of infographics the urban garden can use to educate other youth on the role of pollinators in increasing genetic diversity in plants. Sarah's able to create her first 2 projects for free before her school district eventually decides to purchase an annual subscription. providing her access to more projects, professional development, resources, and tools for administrative project oversight. We're also in the process of developing offerings for businesses so they can purchase project sponsorships, access for employee training, and reports that quantify the impact they're having in local schools. Instead of using Community Connect, Sarah could have used project resources from curriculum companies like OpenSciEd or Project Lead the Way. However, those projects are written for a national audience, and consequently, they tend to be pretty generic and completely disconnected from students' lives and communities. Similarly, the local urban garden and agri-science company could have used an employee volunteer matching company like YourCause or SmartSimple, but they wouldn't have been able to connect directly with any K-12 teachers, would never have met Sarah, and wouldn't have been able to impact the students in her classroom. We've got an amazing team working on this project, got specializations in education, business, and computer science. We've actually built out a prototype platform that has more than 30 users on it right now, both teachers and community partners who are actually connecting to design projects for the upcoming school year. We're learning from these initial beta testers in preparation for a broader launch this fall, with the goal of getting to at least 500 users and $10,000 in revenue by the end of the year. Funding from this competition will allow us to hire a developer that I've previously worked with to help build out some additional platform automations that we're going to need for our fall launch, along with funding to support marketing and sales costs for that launch. With your help, I really believe we can launch Community Connect towards success and help turn classrooms across the country from battlefields into meaningful and fun learning experiences. Thank you so much, and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Oh, I'll jump on. So first of all, I love this. In fact, when I first got into working in ed tech, I went and visited a friend of mine who was a science teacher, and the person held up a piece of paper that had the possible places that they could contact to take their students to do projects. And it was sad. He said, I bet somewhere in the bottom drawer of every teacher is a little bit of this. And I continue to believe it. I continue to believe that this real world connection is the answer. And that's my question, of course, which is, how are you going to get the right places, the right connections for the ultra local connections problem? And I don't think it has to be magical. In other words, I do believe that some of this is known, and the rest of your product I'm really excited about because I think it could work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it right now. So a teacher comes in, tells me the project that they're wanting, what they're looking for from a community partner. Go on to Google Maps. You find the local potential businesses, nonprofits, and you email them. When you email 10, 3 always respond saying, yes, would love to partner. Here's what we can offer. I send those back to the teacher. The teacher can accept or reject that collaboration. They accept it. I send an intro email saying, hey, here's this teacher, what they're working on. Here's the partner, how they want to collaborate. Here's what usually works for these types of collaborations. I'm here to help and support you guys.
Well, good answer.
Yeah, but I've got 2 questions. You talked about businesses being able to sponsor. So, if there's a company that wants to be civic minded, they could go in and sponsor. Once a teacher comes up with an idea, do you have the ability for them to share what they've done in a community that might, be in another region or another state?
Yeah, so when teachers create projects, they're actually completely available to everyone. So you can go on our website right now and you can see the 10 projects that teachers are building in Michigan. And so people can see what's going on. Once those projects are complete, they go to our Hall of Fame so that you can get inspired about what types of projects have people been doing in my area or across the country. And you can search by science, by specific grade level and subject area, so you can get some inspiration as far as what you might do with a community partner.
Very cool. My second question is, how does this scale, assuming that we use the example that you just did, if you go to Google Maps and you find how does it scale?
So actually, one of the people I'm working with, Himanish, is actually working on a web scraping platform that's going to help us with this process. Because you're right, we just need to know the location of the school, know the types of businesses and organizations that might be interested, and then completely automate it so that we can get those responses, see who's interested, get information from them, send them off to the teacher, and that be completely automated and scalable.
Thank you.
Jamie and Gene actually had most of my questions in there. Marketplaces are tough, and that's kind of what you got here. Marketplaces outside of EdTech are already tough, and you're kind of in another, now you're in EdTech, which is a tough market to begin with, and you're doing a marketplace. I guess I'm just outside of the scaling too. Do you anticipate your answer to Jamie? Do you anticipate blowback on any of that, right? Like, so when Yelp started doing that, and some of those other kind of scraping type companies, there's a little bit of outrage about it. How do you anticipate kind of navigating qualified, as you scale, qualified community partners?
Correct. Yeah. So bringing those folks on is, I think, one thing that we have going for it. We're not trying to sell to them. We're actually saying, hey, there's a teacher in your community who would like some support. Would you like to support them? If not, that's fine. You can just not respond to the email. But most folks do want to, and they're like, oh, this is great. I've been looking for a way to connect with my school, and I didn't really know how to, make that happen. And so when we're able to do that, we have had, zero blowback so far from that process. And so that's my hope, is that can scale and continue.
Got it. So you're not just going to add them without their consent. When you say the scraping part of it, you're getting lists of people to contact individually with your team.
Yep.
Okay.
Contact info. Hey, here's the school, here's the grade level, here's the project, here's what the teacher's looking for. Would you be interested? If not, you don't need to respond. And if you are, hey, we're going to be here to support you and connecting with them.
Thanks. That's helpful clarification.
We get one more opportunity for a question. Devin, if you could collaborate with any institution or company in the world, who would it be?
Any institution or company? I mean, I've been just working with the Toyota folks who are building a STEM center at IPSI, and they're already trying to do this work. So I'd love to continue to work with them.
Thank you.
Good answer. Hopefully they'll tune in and watch some of this. All right. Great job, Devin, with Community Connect. Thank you so much. And this has flown by. We've seen 4 great presentations. We have one more coming up with Valerie and Mindwired Labs. So, Valerie, I'll let you share your screen.
Hi, can you see my screen?
We can, and I'll start the timer when you get rolling.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Valerie, and I am the founder of Mindwired Labs. Today, I'm excited to introduce you to our innovative learning kits for embedded systems and IoT designed for middle school students and up. So let's dive in. Embedded systems are small computers that are made to do one job really well. They're inside things like smartphones, vehicles, and appliances. Learning how these small computers work is important for people who want to make cool technology in the future. The Internet of Things, or IoT, is a group of embedded devices that can talk to each other and share information. So when a small computer inside of a device connects to the Internet, it becomes part of the Internet of Things. Despite the growing importance of embedded systems and IoT, there is a severe shortage of skilled developers in these fields. This shortage is projected to worsen, creating a significant gap between industry needs and available talent. The global embedded systems market is expected to reach over $137 billion by 2027, while the IoT market is projected to exceed $1.5 trillion. These massive markets highlight the urgent need for better educational tools. However, current resources are often outdated or inaccessible, making it difficult for learners to gain the necessary skills. Mindwired Labs addresses this gap by offering advanced learning kits that are comprehensive, user-friendly, and designed to engage kids in learning. Our kits cater to a variety of age groups and skill levels, from middle school students to advanced learners. They include all the necessary hardware, sensors, and tools, along with detailed instructions and online tutorials. Our kits are perfect for project-based learning in the classroom, making lessons more interactive and hands-on. By using reusable components, our kits not only offer great value, but also promote sustainability. Additionally, our kits provide career readiness and training for the future, preparing students for careers in technology and engineering. Our kits not only make learning engaging and hands-on, but also align with modern educational standards. By integrating readily available sensors and components, we ensure accessibility and ease for both educators and students. This hands-on approach enhances understanding and retention of complex concepts. Our business model is straightforward. We sell our kits through our website, which also hosts tutorials and a community forum. Users can purchase the kits, follow the tutorials, and engage with other learners and experts. We offer a range of kits from beginner to advanced, catering to various skill sets and learning paces. For instance, our beginner kit is an ultrasonic-based security alarm, while our advanced kit is a complex vending machine system. The market potential for our kits is vast. In the United States alone, there are 60,000 computer science graduates every year, and 22% of high school students take a computer science class. Additionally, there are 10 to 15 million hobbyists. With global numbers, this potential grows significantly. For our serviceable, obtainable market, we're initially focusing on high school students in the US who are enrolled in STEM programs and have an interest in hands-on learning. Based on our research, there are approximately 3.8 million middle and high school students involved in STEM education. We estimate that around 20% of these students, or about 760,000, have a specific interest in embedded systems and IoT. By targeting this segment through direct sales via our website and partnerships with schools and educational programs, we aim to capture a 5% market share in this niche within the first 2 years. This equates to approximately 38,000 units sold annually. While there are other players on the market, Mindwired Labs offers unique advantages. Our kits teach both embedded systems and IoT applications, effectively bridging hardware and software learning. We provide step-by-step tutorials for embedded programming and IoT application development, ensuring a comprehensive educational experience. The modular design of our kits allows for reuse in multiple projects, adding value and flexibility. Our focus on affordability ensures that advanced learning is accessible to a broader audience without compromising on quality or educational value. Our team consists of highly experienced professionals dedicated to transforming education through technology. We are also parents who understand the importance of engaging and effective learning tools for the next generation. I'm Valerie, an application and embedded developer, and Jeremy is a full stack developer with over 10 years of experience in web and backend development. Our current product line includes 2 prototypes. The first is a beginner kit that's an ultrasonic-based security alarm, and the second prototype is an advanced vending machine that uses every pin on the board, including I2C and SPI. These prototypes showcase the range of complexity and educational value that the kits offer. Our next steps include expanding our product line, enhancing our online platform, and increasing our marketing efforts to reach a broader audience. The funds will be allocated as follows: $6,000 towards developing new kits and enhancing existing ones, $1,000 on improving our online platform and adding new features, and $3,000 to marketing campaigns and outreach programs. Whether you're a student eager to explore new horizons, an educator looking to enrich your classroom, or a lifelong learner, Mindwired Labs invites you to discover the joy of hands-on STEM education. Together, we can build a brighter, more innovative future. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great job, Valerie. All right, judges, you've got one more 5-minute session here to be judgmental. So go for it.
Valerie, you may have said you spent a lot of time talking about the market, which was really impressive. Thank you. But who's the buyer of this? Is it schools or is it the students themselves and their families?
It can be any of them. So it can be hobbyists, it can be schools, teachers, individual students, anybody who has an interest. Yeah.
Who would you say? Yeah, sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
I was just going to say, who's the center of your target, your bullseye?
Who is the center of my target? Basically, I would say high school and college level students that are looking to do some more advanced IoT and embedded systems projects.
That was my follow-up too. Yeah.
And where will they find you? Are you on sites that they're likely to be looking around on?
Yes. So we have a website, and also I am pretty active in the embedded community and the Arduino, Raspberry Pi, anything like that.
So and what chip do you use?
I use an ESP32 for most of these projects because it already has.
Cool. Awesome. Well, first of all, I think that the schools should be buying you too, because particularly if big chunks of this are reusable and there's only a few consumables, because they need people to be getting their hands on this. And so, but it's a hard marketing job. So either method of marketing is really hard. So tell us a little bit about the larger project, about what's the price point on the vending machine?
Yes, on the vending machine. So the vending machine is very large, and it's a very, very advanced project. So the documentation alone, I think, is over 200 pages when I'm finished with it. Cost to produce on that one right now is around $30, but I think I could get it down to 18. So I'm actually exploring what a proper markup would be, actually, at the moment.
Um, are you actively selling right now?
No, these are both nearly finished prototypes. I got them completed, tested, and iterated, and then I moved on to maybe I should start in the business side because I have 2 working prototypes that, but I have project plans for around another 20 different ones that I'll do all sorts of neat things.
Are you working on a landing page or a waitlist or a Kickstarter or any
I have a
number of
landing
other?
page. I
Okay.
do. I have a landing page, and there's a sign up on there for updates when they become available.
Okay. Do you have connections? So e-commerce sounds like it's going to be a big part of this.
Mhm.
Do you have line of sight on e-commerce advisors or potential contractors or things of that nature to help you out?
So Jeremy is going to handle all of that. He's built several e-commerce sites
Okay.
through his career.
Awesome.
Valerie, do you anticipate working with any channel partners on the sales side?
At the moment, no, I have no anticipation of that. I know that I am looking for an SBIR grant, so I'm going to start, I've started the process for that. So
So when you think about like your go-to-market strategy and rolling this out, it sounds like you have a great handle on the technology side of it and the product side of it, product development. When you think the go-to-market, like what do you think your next like 1 to 3 steps are here to get this in, either educators or students' hands?
So the next step that I want to do is STEM.org certification. Certification from them is quite valuable, and they do pretty comprehensive walkthrough of the entire product and make sure that it aligns to all the standards. And then you get a finalized report and you get their stamp of approval. And once that's done, then I can start listing them on the website for sale.
Awesome.
So cool. And have you had some kid testers on these yet? Or what do they say?
Yeah, I've had my niece a few times with me. Other things though, so we were using some capacitive touch sensors and lighting up lights, and she was doing patterns, and she is 8. But yes, she was actually interested, so I was happy.
All right, great. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Valerie. Wonderful job to all of our, let me stop this timer before it makes that sound there. You all did a fantastic job compared to what we saw 4 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, 1 day ago in some cases. Every time we'd get close to that 5-minute mark, I'd hold my breath, but you all made it under the mark too. So fantastic job today, and even more so over the past 2 weeks where you've poured countless hours and energy into this. The hard work showed. Judges, I'm sorry, you're going to have a very, very challenging 10 minutes or so coming up here as I put you into a breakout room to deliberate and come back. So participants, let's hang out here. We'll talk. We'll just kind of interview and talk to each other for a little bit while we remain live on YouTube. Judges, you're going to go into a breakup room that is not broadcast. So you won't have to worry about being shown live. So I'll get all of you in there. At some point, I'll bounce in, or Jamie, you can walk down the hall and let me know when you're wrapped up and what the results are. We'll get them into our slide deck, and we'll within about 12, 13 minutes, we'll know. So judges,
Yeah, you were not being dishonest when you said this was going to be really hard.
Very hard one. Yep.
Yep. So judges, I will banish you now into the breakout room. Everybody else, let's hang out. There we go. All right, fantastic, everybody. You're gonna come off mute. We can just kind of chat a little bit. Does everybody feel good? Relaxed?
Yes.
Exhale. I can see it on your face, Jasmine. Yep, good job. So I know Valerie, you have a live website. Devin, you have a live website. James, Parallel, the company, has a site. NoteClear, I think you guys have a site up there, right?
Yep.
Yep. Jasmine, do you have a Next Level Tech
Not yet.
site up there yet? Not yet. All right. So those who do have your website, go ahead and put those in the chat, or actually, why don't you just do a quick 10-15 second commercial, drive people to your websites, because we've got about 25 people or so watching in the YouTube room right now, and many more will watch the recording. So Devin, go for it.
I'll start, definitely.
Since you're the one on mute, I picked you.
Go to communityconnect.cc. If you are a teacher in Michigan, we're mostly looking for 6th through 12th grade science teachers who want to do community engaged projects. You can sign up there. You can find a partner and get ready to do some exciting stuff next year.
I'll jump in. Parallel.com, P-A-R-A-I-L-L-E-L. It's spelled parallel, spelled like that, but pronounced parallel. We got a little bit cute with the AI in the middle. We're going for districts or school level customers. We're a platform technology. We're agnostic to any specific pedagogies. The concept is to build out whatever you want to do as far as your curriculum. We use AI to help you do that. At that same time, we help create the assessments. I like to make the metaphor of assessments were meant to decide how well a student is moving, but it's not fair if you judge a dolphin on how well it climbs a tree. So we make equitable assessments in that regard. And then at the end of that, we have the context of what you attempted to produce as far as a lesson. We have the metrics as far as the data that's put back into the system after the assessment, and then we can utilize the AI to create a recommendation to go back to the top of that feedback loop. So it's a quick iterative process for you guys, and hopefully you guys check out the website.
Yeah, go check that out and let them know if you're interested in being part of a pilot coming up in the fall or as the school year advances. All right, NoteClear.
You can jump in next. It's just noteclear.com, noteclear.com. Website is currently live. We just did a huge UI revision and making it a lot cleaner. So that'll be going live like as soon as we get off of this call, and I can go type in the commands that run that. But yeah, we're looking to get students and teachers onto the platform and using it so that we can get that user feedback in terms of what you're looking for, especially with students with learning disabilities and challenges like that. Any feedback you can give us to focus on key features, we appreciate it greatly. And we're taking like any input we get, we're making sure to implement it as fast as we possibly can, because we want this thing fully fleshed out for every student who needs it as soon as the fall starts. Because I mean, both of them are going back to school in the fall, so they will be actively using it as well. So the more features we can add to it, the happier we'll be with it.
And was the noteclear.com domain really just sitting out there unpurchased?
Yeah, it was like one of the cheapest ones we found, because we had a couple ideas, but we weren't willing to drop $10,000 on a domain. So that was the one that we ended up finding that was like a happy medium.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Valerie or Jasmine?
Ours is live. It's just a landing page. It's at mindwiredlabs.com, and there's a little text field in there where you can enter your email address, and we send updates as they become available.
Yeah, great. I signed up for that as you're pitching just before Tom asked the question. Actually, I was like, "Yeah, she's got a landing page. I just signed up."
Yay!
And now I've got to get Jamie's budget approval to buy a vending machine kit for the Michigan Virtual Break Room. What will fit in the vending machine? Like regular size kind of candy bars? Or?
Right now, it'll fit any snack size candy except for those York peppermint patties, because those are just too wide.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to start trying to put other things. I know like erasers will fit in there. So I was going to look for chapsticks. At first it was meant for candy, but then I realized, wait, what if you don't want candy? You could put lots of other things in here.
Yeah, fantastic. That's fun. Yep, we'll definitely need one of those in our break room. Yeah. Jasmine, how can people get in touch with you?
I don't have a website yet, but if you want to follow me on Facebook, it's Jasmine, Jasmine, last name Woodruff, Woodruff. I keep people up to date with what I'm doing currently with my business. So if you want to follow me on Facebook.
Awesome.
I was just going to see if anyone is in Southeast Michigan. There's a couple meetups coming up, one in Detroit on Thursday next week. Oh no, Tuesday next week, Startup Detroit has a meetup. And then in Ann Arbor on Thursday next week, NEF has a meetup at Spark. So I'm going to be at both of those. So I don't know if anyone's going to be around. I'd love to connect with y'all in person if you are.
Yeah, I
I'm
think you're all
interested in that.
basically Metro Detroit if we extend that up towards the Flint area, right, Valerie?
Yeah, I'm the outlier out here in Lapeer.
Yep. Yeah, so Devin, thank you for bringing that up. In terms of next steps, we've talked about it in boot camps and stuff, but keep sharing the idea, get it out there at some of the pitch fests that happen, the meetups. Of course, Jasmine and James, you went through the program there at Tech Town. NEF at Ann Arbor is another great one, and everything that Ann Arbor Spark does. And then when you get back to East Lansing, look up Tom and everybody over at the MSU, the Spartan Innovations and their EdTech startup communities. They've got tons of support network up here too. So yeah. So what was the biggest challenge that each of you kind of saw coming through the pitch process and the work that you've done so far? Or maybe another way, like what advice would you give to somebody who's on the fence thinking, I've got this idea, should I do it? I don't know where to start. I could never get up in front of a group live and pitch like this. What's your advice for them?
My advice would be for this whole experience for myself is just looking back, just make sure you do your research, understand your competition, and then know who you're targeting. That was my my backwards way of doing it, because I just created something curriculum and then I like, okay, well, let me go talk to customers. And then I'm like, okay, I'm talking to customers, going through the customer discovery process, but I'm also getting questions of a product where I'm not even really sure, I'm so blinded of what's out here. So I didn't do my competition analysis or anything like that. So definitely look at the market. You have an idea, go for it, stay confident in it, don't give up on it. But maybe you might have to tweak your idea a little bit, or you might have to, find a maneuver into it, but just keep going with it, do your research, stay at it. And it's not a easy overnight thing, but just keep going. But as far as like the pitch deck, everything with this, just basically, if you have someone to mentor you, or you can find a program to help you, or help find people that's already in the business that's doing it, definitely reach out. That's my advice, because all of this has helped me so far, and I'm keep growing and learning as I go.
Yeah, great advice. And for all of you and for anybody watching with an idea, the pitch contest ends today, but Michigan Virtual, myself, we're here to continue to support, hear your ideas, provide feedback, help you look for pilot opportunities year round. So stay engaged. And if you're not engaged yet, connect, share your idea, and start building on it today.
I would recommend start with a problem rather than an idea. A lot of the hesitancy that when I first started out in my entrepreneurial career, that I noticed really came from me having an idea first rather than going at a problem first. Because what happens is we fall in love with our ideas and then we start looking for problems, and that's where you start having to backtrack and things of that nature, where it starts to get a little bit confusing, because now you have to convince yourself, well, should I keep going? Should I persevere? All of these different type of things. But if you start with the problem won't change until someone changes it, right? So I would say start with the problem, analyze your skill set, and then analyze your network skill set, and then craft the solution. And then from there, everything seems to, at least as far as my experience, seems to run a bit smoother.
Yep, great advice.
Yeah, I think we can kind of speak to similar things, to like finding the problem first, especially like finding problems that personally have impacted us. Like when we first came up with the idea for No Clear, it's changed quite a bit, like through interviews and meeting with customers and stuff like that. but especially early on, like overcoming initial challenges and kind of identifying where to go with the product is much easier if you have like personally experienced the problem. If you're kind of just going after something that you see someone else struggling with, it can be a little bit harder to figure out exactly what the pain points are or misunderstand certain pain points. So that's been the thing that's really helped kind of drive us through the initial phases and make sure it got to the level we needed and we understood more effectively like what needed to be done for it to be like a complete product to release with like an MVP. So I think having like a personal attachment to the problem can be really useful for kind of creating that quick iteration, but also being able to get a viable MVP off the ground and understand whether or not it's actually going to provide value.
Yeah, awesome.
I'd be curious if anyone has any suggestions. I'm always looking at ways to build community with other founders, entrepreneurship people. If anyone has any suggestions on ways or places to connect or ways that we can, there's actually somebody from the boot camp just texted me, and so like having those connections, if you went through the boot camp or other places, are great. And so I'm always looking for more opportunities to connect with like-minded folks. So anyone have any suggestions?
There's an organization called the Google Developer Groups. I participated in a couple of their events while I was in school. They have chapters at most of the major universities in Michigan. But there's the Google Developer Student Club, and there's also like the Google Developer Group, which is like professionals in the industry. But I know there's a lot of students that would go to stuff like that are working on either like side projects or full-on applications they're developing, especially that I knew as students that I was kind of like bumping into in the classroom and stuff. So that was a good idea. They did I went to the one event last year where they had Google, Flutter, and a couple other companies come and present at Little Caesars downtown, at the Little Caesars headquarters. And so we got to go through, it was like an 8-hour day of just like going through different presentations and seeing, and there was like 3 going on at a time. So you could go to see like what technologies were interesting you. And then there were, like I said, lots of like-minded people trying to learn about new technology and stuff. So it was a lot of people to meet that shared similar ideas or similar work ethics to what I was trying to find. So that was a good source of community, I think.
Devin, I actually wanted you could you repeat the meetup that you said was happening next Tuesday? And then I'll add in what's helped me out is looking up some of these different tech oriented co-working spaces and joining like maybe their newsletter or whatever type of periodical that they send out, like Bamboo, New Lab, and Tech Town come to mind. They typically throw mixers. So if you just join their events page, they'll typically send out something that may be of interest to you.
Yeah, this one in Detroit on Tuesdays at New Lab. So
Is that new? Okay.
Yeah, it's called Startup Detroit Happy Hour. I can put the link to the event in the chat for you if you want to actually register for it. But I'm on the east side of Detroit, so if you ever want to connect, let me know.
Yeah, I do. I'll put my contact in the chat as well.
Absolutely. Stay engaged with each other and with the broader community out there. And we're continuing to work on broadening that EdTech specific community here in Michigan and a little bit beyond. So we'll keep you engaged as well. All right, I'm going to bring the judges back in. The deliberations are complete. How do I pull them back here? Close all rooms. All right, here come the judges. I guess they've got 57 seconds to close the room. We'll see how quickly they come back here. Okay, we'll get them to come back in and we'll go through runners up and top 3 and we'll get everybody back on their way. But remember, for all of you, this is a journey. There's a couple prizes at stake here that can be really helpful in your journey, but one pitch doesn't define a startup. The best startups have pitched hundreds of times. The best companies pitch hundreds, if not thousands of times, and we're told no 999 out of the first 1,000 times that they pitched. So this is an iterative process. It is a journey, and all 5 of you are further along on this journey than most anybody else will ever get. So that's what you've done so far is commendable. The outcome of today should have no impact on where you go next or what you do next. Keep the idea alive, keep working towards it, and just grind, right? Keep on working. So yeah, judges, welcome back into the room. Before we go into the final 5 or the order here, judges, do you want to share anything or share any remarks that won't give away who the winners are?
Well, I just wanted to
I
say
don't
that we
trust
love
you,
them.
Jamie.
We love them all, and that some of them were just had some hard technical problems ahead of them that made it hard to judge where what was possible there. And others, it was we thought all of them were really exciting and had a ton of potential. But some of them still have quite a bit of technical challenge coming, so they need to keep going to sort of get to the next stage.
Yeah. I was just totally impressed with the needs that all of your projects are trying to address. So commendable. You know, obviously you've done your homework and you know the challenges that the education community is facing. And Scott, if I just think back to what this was like 3 years ago, and this was really, really difficult. So congratulations to all of you on your pioneering spirit and your creativity to try to solve some really big problems.
Yeah, I just to add to it, I see hundreds of pitches a year. These were stellar pitches, especially for the stage that you guys are in. This was a really hard group to get through, and you all did just so great. So you should be proud of yourself again, regardless of the outcomes here. So
Yeah. So I don't have a drum roll app. I need a drum roll app. Somebody needs to invent that. But yeah, so here we are. And again, I'll take one last opportunity to thank our partners, the Michigan SBDC, Spartan Innovations over at the MSU Research Foundation, both fabulous resources and fabulous partners to Michigan Virtual, as well as our sponsors. As a reminder, first place will receive a $10,000 startup grant, along with legal consultation from Foster Swift and marketing consultation from Michigan Creative. Second place gets $6,000 plus the legal and marketing. Third place gets $4,000 plus the legal and marketing. And then the 2 runners up each get $1,000 for continuing your journey here. And a lot of that sponsorship money is provided by Michigan Virtual, as well as the MEA Consumers Energy, Case Credit Union, and DuPont. So thank you to all of them. And with no further ado, I feel like it should be more than the click of a mouse button, but that's all it is on my end right now, is a click of a mouse button. If I'm in the right screen, our honorable mentions. We have Next Level Tech and with Jasmine, and also Parallel. JC, great work there. Why is that music playing? All right, in third place, Note Clear, the Marhafka brothers from U of M, MSU, and Divine Child. Being a Catholically product myself and an MSU grad, 2 out of 3 of you are great. I don't know about the Go Blue stuff, but congratulations. You guys want to share anything quick?
No, I mean, it's been a great experience. This has been doing the pitch, iterating on it, getting everything prepared has been a little stressful. We're all engineers, not really built for the marketing stuff, but this has been a really unique and inspiring experience. So thank you.
for the brother who is still at MSU, and I'm sorry, I can't remember which, you should absolutely get involved in Burgess Center for Entrepreneurship.
Okay, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Yep, I'll get them in my car and drive them over there, Tom.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, and we'll get you in touch with Joel from Foster Swift and Brian at Michigan Creative to coordinate on the legal and the marketing stuff too. They're both right here in Lansing as well, so another reason to be at Michigan State. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I'm going to go to our second place winner fairly quickly, and then that'll kind of give away who the grand prize winner is. So we'll go through the next. So drum roll as we come down to the top two, finishing in second place with the $6,000 startup grant and the Foster Swift and Michigan Creative consultations is Community Connects. Great job, Devin. Congratulations. And of course, Mindwired Labs is left with the first place prize. Valerie, congratulations. Jamie, you didn't hear while we were in the breakout, but I've already committed to buying a vending machine kit for Michigan Virtual's break room. So we'll be a first customer as well. I don't know if I can put it together, but it'll be a lot of fun trying and a nice addition to the break room. So Valerie, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone. This has been fantastic. This started as a project for me a long time ago to actually learn because there was a lack of tools out there. And as I was creating these projects for myself, I realized if I have the problem, other people do, found the problem within my own groups and was like, all right, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to try to help other people learn the same thing I had to learn.
Yeah. And judges, I'll turn it over to you for a couple last minute comments, advice for the teams and thoughts.
I just want to offer up the rest of my team. Kim obviously was very helpful to you all, I think, or a lot of you, but we're active in startup coaching across the state of Michigan. We have, coaches in Detroit, East Lansing, Grand Rapids in Northern Michigan. So pretty much anywhere you are, I'll put my email here in the chat. Just encourage you to reach out. We would love to work with you. Regionally speaking, it's free to you. And then hopefully we can get you in a pipeline that could lead to investment or future involvements in our accelerator programs and other things like that. But we'd be happy to work with you. We have coaches specifically out there for that reason. And obviously some of you got to meet Kim. You can continue your journey with Kim if you want to, but we have other coaches, again, across Michigan too, and it's free of charge.
So I'll speak up for Learn Launch. We have a Slack community that we run at edinno.com. Go on there, find your friends, find your potential collaborators, and see what happens. And then for a few of you, I'll be sending you a little bit of information about other players who've done similar things.
Scott, I want to thank you for leading all of this. I know it just takes a ton of work on your part. When you came with your idea, I think everyone was, oh, this will be interesting. And it's just been a really fun project to be part of, and just couldn't be more happy with the impact that we can see these projects have. Tom and Jean, thank you so much for all the work that you do to help us with this. Tom, the support that Melanie and Kim give is just, outstanding. And obviously the quality of the proposals that we saw today, I think, is a proof of the excellent coaching services that they provided along with Scott. And then I just would like to thank all of you as innovators to take that plunge and to stick your neck out and try to solve a problem and be creative. And as Scott said in the very beginning, please continue your journey, because you're all looking at trying to solve some really, really important needs. And this is where the tenacity comes in, and you just got to think about the next pitch and the next pitch and the next pitch. So congratulations to all 5 of you.
Yeah, and I'll follow up with each of you individually with information on how we'll get the startup grant to you, next steps, how to make sure we stay connected, how you can connect with the judges to get, if you had any other questions or wanted some more specific feedback from them, we'll connect you with Jean, Tom, and Jamie. And for anybody else who's watching right now and isn't connected to the Michigan Virtual EdTech Catalyst project, make sure you visit michiganvirtual.org/pitch and scroll on down. We've got a connect with us form on the bottom there. We do a monthly EdTech Catalyst newsletter that highlights what's going on. our events and the events going on in the entrepreneurial community around Michigan to keep everybody engaged and informed. So this ends the EdTech pitch for 2024, but it begins the boot camp and EdTech pitch planning for 2025. And we look forward to staying engaged with all of you. And again, Valerie, congratulations. Devin, JC, Jasmine, our Hafka brothers, great job. We look forward to seeing your journeys continue, and we thank you for your participation. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday evening, and on to big and better, right?
Thank you.